Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Kindred Kitchen. My name is Pam, if you haven't been here before, and V is behind the camera today.
Hello.
And we are going to make a vegetable broth today, and I've got lots of tips and tricks for you, but first, I want you to go down below here and make sure you're subscribed and you hit that little notification bell, and make sure you share our videos so that we can bring our weight loss tips and tricks and recipes to the people that need it. Okay, so the vegetable broth. First, let me get it all put together and then I'll tell you. What I have here, I don't know if you can see, are vegetable scraps. And I'll tell you, I keep vegetable scraps in my freezer. I have Ziploc bags in my freezer, and anytime I cut up any vegetables, I keep what I don't use. And that goes for any vegetable except potatoes, because usually I eat the potato skins, so there's really nothing left. Unless the potatoes have a really thick, dirty skin, then I will peel it, and I don't want that in my broth. So, but everything else, sweet potato skins, squash skins when I peel them, any part of the zucchini I don't use, the ends, carrots, celery, onions, bell peppers, green beans, the broccoli, the ends of the broccoli that you don't use, save it. Save them, put them in a bag or put them in a container in your freezer and make vegetable broth out of them. B and I were looking today and I haven't bought vegetable broth for probably, I don't know, 8 or 10 years now. And so we were looking up the prices, and it's around $5, $5 to $7 for a quart. I go through about a gallon of vegetable broth a week.
And we usually get the organic one from the grocery store, and those tend to be more expensive. And the reason we go for organic is because there's a lot less
chemicals, pesticides.
Yes, and a lot less added to it.
And we have organic vegetables as well. So.
And I even rice those sometimes. You know, the broccoli ends and the cauliflower ends. Mm-hmm. I even rice those sometimes and add them to whatever soup. Yeah.
And my broth I use for every soup I make. Starts with a broth. I use it when I'm sautéing vegetables, onions, bell peppers, things like that. You use a tablespoon or two of water. When I'm at home, I use a tablespoon or two of broth. If I'm cooking up beans, I will add broth to that. It just adds so much flavor, and you get so much more nutrients by adding the broth. So I go through probably a gallon a week, and so I cook it up pretty quickly. I just take my scraps, and I have the foodie here. You can use a pressure cooker, or you can cook this my son has done this, cook it in a pot on the stove. And what I do is I fill up my,
and there's garlic peel and everything in there.
Garlic, onions, carrot skins. We had broccoli, bell peppers. Here's the carrot ends.
There's
a zucchini. Yep. There's zucchini in here. So I fill it up. Here's tomato ends. See, tomato ends. You put it all in, and it just makes, the more you have, the richer the broth is. And I'm just going to fill this up with water. If you cook this on the stove, just put it onto a very low simmer in a big pot and let it simmer for a couple of hours. When I do this in my pressure cooker, which I'm going to add a little bit more water. If you do this in any pressure cooker, let it go for a couple of hours. So I'm adding the water. There, that's what I'm going to do. And mine, these are not frozen. These were fresh.
Yeah.
Mine are frozen, and I just put them in there frozen and add the water to it.
The lemongrass.
Oh, that's right. V wants to add some lemongrass. These are just the ends, the bottoms, not the leaves, the leaf part, but the ends of the lemongrass, and that will add a lot of extra flavor.
Yeah, and you can add lemon, used up lemon or something. I just like a little citrusy stuff in mine.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. You can add whatever you have, and that's what I do. Like I said, whatever I am cooking, I just put the scraps in bags in the freezer. The ends of cilantro, cilantro or the parsley ends, I will use those. Let me put it on seal. Let me get it started. Pressure on high. And I'm trying to think of what else I use. 2 hours, start. What else do I use? We mentioned garlic and onions, all those basics.
I even had
anything that's unusual that ginger
peels too. I clean them really well, peel them off, and then I keep them on the side.
The ginger is a good addition. Yeah.
So anything that you scrap basically off a veggie is what I save.
Just throw in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And cook it for 2 hours. We will come back and show you what the broth looks like because it usually looks nice and rich and hearty. So we'll be back. Okay, now you can see the broth is done. It was 2 hours in the Ninja or the Instapot or just, an hour or so on the stove at a low boil, covered. Make sure you cover it because you don't want it to evaporate. And this is what we have. And it smells delicious and it just looks so rich and nice. And so all I'm doing now is I strained it and I am putting it in some jars and it'll go in the refrigerator. So we will have this for soups, for stews, for whenever I am sauteing, for dal, for whatever you need it for. And like I said, I go through about a gallon of this a week. And if you figure $5 for a quart of organic vegetable broth, I save $20 easily in a week. That's a lot, you know, when you think about it. And I haven't bought broth for 8 or 10 years now. This is so much easier. I save a ton of money. I know what's in my broth, there's no salt added. I figure I can add salt to my dishes. I don't need it in my broth. So I know exactly what is in it and it's 100% savings because these are food scraps.
Right.
So it's 100% savings. So all I'm going to do now is just finish up putting this broth into jars so that we have it. And I hope you try this at home. This is the number one money saver that you can do in your household right here. They talk about buying in bulk and things like that. This is number one money saver right here.
That's true.
And it adds so many nutrients to your broth and to your soups and things like that. Instead of using water to cook your beans, use broth. So make sure you like and subscribe down below and hit that little notification bell and share this video with your friends and your family. And we hope you have enjoyed our holiday series that we just had, and we hope you're going into the new year with a brighter attitude because, 2021 has got to be better, right? It has got to be better. And we will catch you next time. Bye now.
Bye.